What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Today's video is something I don't usually do. It's going to be a little preview of the match coming up against Ross County, my thoughts on the current team lineup, and then I've got other people's opinions in there too. So just to name some of the talking points that I'm going to go over in this video, is going to be the much debated over centre-half pairing, who I think should be the captain if Tav gets stripped, who should be the starting right back if Tav, this injury is more than what we thought it originally was. Then a little bit of a discussion on the forward players and actually a prediction for the game. Before we get further into the video, I've had a few comments about my backdrop now, and you can see the little bit of, try to point the right way in the reversing camera here, a little bit of blue tack because there was a poster up there, but I want to get at something more Rangers related now, so put your thoughts in the comments below of what type of poster should I get up there, canvas, should it just be Ibrox, a certain player, who knows. Diving into the first talking point now, I'm going to start speaking about the centre-half pairing, and on screen now you can see this poll that I've put out in here asking who people think is the current best centre-back at the club, and I've asked for opinions on what would be the best pairing. But as you can see from here, 14% the lowest saying Katic, 15% saying Goldson, so them two at the bottom of the pile, who was our tried and trusted of previous seasons. Edmondson at 26%, and then 45% of people running away with the vote thinking Hollander is our best defender. I've got Dino here with a comment on that saying, I would say Katic and Hollander are our two best. Goldson is our worst, and he's got in brackets, I thought that way before his recent errors as well. Not so enough of the fridge yet. Sublime against Braga, poor against Hearts. However, he was playing next to Goldson. Pena Cartel here saying Hollander, he thinks is the best defender. If fit, it'll be him and Goldson in the upcoming games. And one final one here is from Mike RFC saying, having just watched the presser from today's, he's sticking with Goldson no matter what and giving Tav every chance to make his game better. Seems like he's not willing to drop them at all, and what Mike's referring to there is he's saying Goldson came into the dressing room after and apologised for his mistakes, and Gerrard came out and said that shows good character and that he's coming out to say sorry, and he was proud of him for saying sorry. So from the poll here, you'll see that it was Edmondson and Hollander, shown by that people think would be our best centre-half pairing. Now, getting on to my opinion about the situation, and it may be controversial considering he was literally the lowest in the poll, but I think Katic has got to be in their two starting centre-backs. I would go with Katic and Hollander personally. I mean, I agree that Hollander is the best, just a pure defender, but what he does lack, and that is clear for everyone to see, is pace. But our centre backs aren't really slow, but Hollander's definitely slow. But for me, Katic is that perfect combo, and yes, he's had howlers, but Goldson has had his howlers. Edmondson looks good, then doesn't look good, like the Hearts game. And for me, when consistent, Katic has got to be in there next to Hollander. I'm also saying that for his aerial ability, his attacking presence in corners, Hollander as well. Because how many times does Goldson get on the end of corners and just blazes it into Rose Ed with a header? And for me personally, Katic is always made an example of by Gerrard. I think he is really close with Goldson, so he treats him a bit more friendly than others, just my opinion. That's how I see it. I know some people may disagree with that, but Goldson gets overprotected, and he's been equally as bad as Katic at times, like for example his mistake against Hamilton there. If that was Katic is bombed straight out of the squad, so we'll see what happens with Goldson. Moving on into our next talking point of the video, and it's going to be the club captain. And I did say if, and that's a big if, Tav gets stripped, because he's been here through 6 managers as the captain, and how successful has that been? But from the poll here, you can see on screen now, we've got 39% of people thinking McGregor, 54% of people, so the winner by a good margin there is Ryan Jack, 3% saying Davis, and then you've got 4% saying other, which we'll get into. We've got Hugh Thompson here saying that Gerrard seems to see Goldson as the golden boy, even though he's utter dog meat in his opinion. We've got Ginge Graham chipping in here saying Arfield, the experience of winning promotion regularly with Burnley and Scottish football with Falkirk, and he's always playing full-blooded. Jack would be his vice-captain. That is an interesting one there, but for me, is Arfield going to be in the team week in, week out? Ray Von Hay is chipped in here saying, see, I would like to say McGregor, but I don't like seeing the goalkeepers as captain. Chris McLaughlin saying, McGregor for me is pointless for only the 1 year. We need a captain that will be here the long term. Ryan Jack for me. Connor saying here, has to be someone who can lead by example, a consistent performer who can lead the team. For me, it would be Ryan Jack. _72_RFC here saying, got to be Jack IMO, recurring theme here. No point in a keeper as captain, and Davis might have won stuff in the past, but he's not a leader and can't play every game. There's a few more similar opinions there, but we'll go with Gary Campbell here for the last one, who's chipped in saying, for me there is nobody at the club who sticks out right now, and he thinks it's a position that he's addressed in the summer, need a Ferguson/Goff type to come in as the captain. Getting into my opinion now, and I would have to agree with the poll, the majority of people saying Ryan Jack as the captain. For me, I don't think Davis seems hungry enough anymore. I think he's starting to lose the legs out a little bit. May that just be his confidence, I don't know, but he's not loud enough for one for me anyway. McGregor, he's got the passion, yes, but I've agreed with some of the opinions there that I don't like seeing the goalkeeper as the captain. So for me, it's Ryan Jack. I think when he's at his best, he is arguably our best midfielder, like defensively anyway, especially, like breaking up, getting the ball rolling, setting the tempo. For me, Ryan Jack's one of the first names in the team sheet when fit, and it's got to be him for me. Another big thing about being the captain of our club is mentality, and I think everyone's seen all these recent quotes by Tav and what he's been saying, and we all know he's really not got the mentality to be the Rangers captain. The badge weighs too much for him, and for me, he should be stripped of it 100%. I made one more poll for a talking point in this video, and it will be if Tav is injured and can't play in the upcoming weekend game against Ross County or midweek, who would you like to see at right back? And as you can see from on screen now, you get Patterson running away with the vote there at 59%, and 38% of people thinking Polster, and falling behind is Flanagan on 3%. Getting into some comments that I got on that poll as well. Now we've got Ewan_TrueBlue here saying, would love to see Patterson, but if anybody it will be Polster, who should have been dropped as soon as the imposter was back from his latest injury, of course referring to Tav. Bob Steele chipping in here saying young Patterson definitely deserves his chance to shine in an SPL match. Callum McRae here saying 100% agree with the vote for the young gun, of course Patterson. And for one final one here, we've got Lewis saying, who voted Flanagan? Own up. So for me, again, I'm going to have to agree with the poll, with the majority of the people, that I would like to see Patterson starting at right back. Polster, I'll get into it in a little bit because I've got a different opinion on him, but for me, as a right back, Patterson, I thought he was really harsh to be dropped after his performance against, it was in the cup, wasn't it, that he got his game? Of course it was against lower opposition, but how else do these people get experience unless you throw them into games like this? The league is done, why not throw them into a game like this and give them that experience? Regarding Flanagan, for me, I'd be quite happy to see his contract cut with Rangers in the summer. He doesn't offer anything going forward. Yes, he loves a tackle, but I just do not see him being Rangers standard and helping take this club forward at all. So that's us done with the polls part of the video. Now I'm going to get on to Sunday's game and what I would personally like to see the team lineup being, because I know there's a certain talking point in this that people might be like, Steely, you are absolutely mental, and I'm going to put my team on screen now. And I know it's probably not took you long to realise Polster, what is he doing with him, but give me a minute, right? So of course, McGregor in goals, no surprise there. Patterson, I think, will get an nod at right back. Katic and Edmondson is who I would like to see. I'm not sure that Goldson will get dropped though. I don't see Halliday coming in for Borna at all. I think Borna will just still keep his place. Jack, if fit, I would like to see there. And now we got into Polster. Let me explain myself. So, Polster, from what we've seen of him, the best we've seen of him was that capitulation at Hearts where it all first went wrong. That first game at Tynecastle that we lost. He came on at right back and he was the spark of the team, but it was evidently too little too late. But for me, he's not had enough of a chance. As a position that he's played in the past. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic, almost dare I say Ross McCrory type, or the closest we have to it, but he seems to have ability on the ball. He was comfortable to take the ball past people, good crossing, good range of passing, and hey, if he got put in there and he was absolutely atrocious, I'd hold my hands up and say, wow, what an idiotic idea that was. But now's the time to be experimenting when we think, well, realistically things are over, so what other way is there to see than try these things in games? Then of course that would leave the usual player in that position, Davis, out, and for me, I'd be happy to do that, and I might get shot down in the comments for this. I'd obviously happily hear your thoughts and feedback in the comments down below, but for me, Davis just doesn't get a start in this team right now. So slow, not energetic enough, not enough dig about him. He just seems like he's gave it in, and he's certainly not the player he used to be. I've just grabbed these screenshots, for example. It's from, I'll give the credit to the guy that's put these screenshots on Twitter. It was at Football Stewart. He put these screenshots on saying, a big problem for us right now is passes not going forward. And for me, Hadji is one of the only people who play exciting forward passes. For example, here, Davis, I'm not just singling out because there's a lot in the team that do it. I think right now, Hadji's the only person that doesn't do it. Is takes the ball and look at this position here on screen. Morelos running through or Hadji there, but no, turns back into safety, and then 2 seconds later, as you can see from the clock there, we're back and the chance is gone. Why not play one of them forward passes? Is it confidence? I don't know, but for me, that is one of the major problems that we're having so far in this second spell, of course, after the winter break, is passing the ball forward. Now, I don't think there'll be much difference of opinion in the forward four that I've put. I've put Hadji playing in behind Morelos. I think we can all agree he's better in behind the striker rather than out to the wing. Again, this is just my prediction of what I would like to see the team to be. Realistically, it's going to end up being a 4-3-3 and Hadji's going to get shoved out in the wing again. But Morelos up front, because once he finds his form back, he is our best striker. He's absolutely lethal. On the right wing, I'd play Kent because he's left foot, right foot equally just the same as Hadji, which is really, really handy to have. And then Canberry out on the wing because he's showing glimpses that he can be good in that position as well. It'll be interesting as well to see what happens with some of our loans that are currently out, because for me, 3 in particular of Murphy, McCrory and Docherty are all players who could and should be in and around this squad in my opinion anyway, but put your thoughts in the comments down below about them. But getting on to my actual prediction about the game now, this is hard to say because at the Hamilton game I was predicting pressure's off, we're going to come in, just wipe the floor with them at Ibrox. I'll put my hands up and say that. I'm going to put my neck on the line again and say a 3-0 win to us up at Dingwall, and honestly, as sad as it is to say, I would not be surprised if it was like a 1-each draw or something, but I've got faith. Hopefully it's put in the right place this time for us winning 3-0. But that's going to be all for this video, guys. I appreciate you all if you have stuck by me in this video. Listen to my thoughts, listen to my opinions on the team, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts about it as well now, so put it down in the comments below what you think the centre back pairing should be, the right back, the captain, all that juicy topics that everyone likes to get into. But once again, guys, thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you in the next one.